Welcome to this installment of Illusion of Gaia, wherein we fight puddles of water, get accosted by rocks, and step on some spikes. So I guess we're in some ancient ruins, or whatever they might be. I'm not exactly too sure what we're doing. The first thing that strikes me about this game is the fact that it looks to be like one of those, like a Zelda type game where you run around and, it's actiony, action RPG type thing. Which is really cool. I think those types of games are probably the most fun. I mean, I like a good Final Fantasy, turn-based RPG like anybody does. But I definitely think, the people who made these games 15, 20 years ago, whatever, had to have thought like, oh, well, this is probably the way of the future, which it really is, because, I mean, if you look at today's games, today's RPGs, most of them are action-based RPGs. I think this generation has probably been the most lacking of decent turn-based RPGs. I mean, I think you had our Lost Odyssey on the Xbox was a turn-based game, but even then they added in that whole ring feature where it slowly closes. You gotta hit the button at the right time to do more damage or whatever. What else? I know that we had Xenoblade Chronicles in the last story, but I'm not even really quite sure how those games actually played. And then, of course, Final Fantasy 13, which, don't even get me started, I hate the battle system from Final Fantasy 13. I find that staggering crap so annoying. So I definitely think that, I might be a little too, I don't even know the word. It might be a little too presumptuous to think that, that's all we'll ever have anymore is games like this, but just, better graphics. But I think that's definitely kind of the way things are going. Which is just kind of sad, I think, because I miss that, And like I said, 13 just sucks. So, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, what he's picking up here. Oh, he's fighting more puddles of water, though. How does one fight a puddle of water? You'd think it would just kind of... And how do those things even attack, right? I mean, what do they just, splash on you and you take damage? They must be poisonous or something. I would think. I don't know. Those rock dudes are pretty cool, except that they really don't do a whole lot. They just kind of animate themselves and sit there and get beat on. But whatever. Still pretty cool. I know recently, I think just yesterday or a couple days ago, Devil May Cry, the new Devil May Cry game came out, which is pretty awesome. Which in a way is kind of like an RPG anyway, because you learn new moves. It's more it's like an amalgamation of fighting games and very light RPG too. Just testing out this puzzle, I guess. So it's gotta be pretty quick. And he runs. Barely makes it. But anyway, where was I? I was talking about other video games, RPGs and whatnot. So yeah, this last generation's been pretty disappointing though, I think. And I know it's over pretty much. I mean, we're in the death throes. We had the last great holiday season of game releases with, any Call of Duty games are given every year now. But we had games like Halo and I can't even think of any other ones actually right now. So yeah, it's time for something new. So there's all these rumors about, the PlayStation 4 Orbis, Project Orbis or whatever, and then the Xbox Next or 720, which I think is Durango. it's fitting, considering, you know, Windows Vista's code name was Longhorn or whatever. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I think, not to say that the next generation hasn't already started, because the Wii U's out, and I know a lot of people don't consider the Wii U next gen, but that's pretty dumb because they're just basing it on graphics and hardware. Well, I guess technically the 3DS was the first next generation console or system, and that's out over a year ago. But anyway, I don't know. It looks like we're learning a new move though. Sliding attack. Push the attack button when running. That seems pretty simple. So I guess you double tap to run. Oh, okay, yeah. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. And we heal up and we continue on. I was kind of hoping he would change into the adult guy, and then I could scream, "I have power," but he didn't. Okay, back to the console stuff. But yeah, I really think that Sony's just gonna mess it up. I mean, look at the Vita. It's like, if I could make the cricket noise, I would, because there's nothing about that thing out anymore anyway. Which really sucks for them. And then I hear that they copyrighted, or not copyrighted, but patented the technology to make it so that when you buy a new game and you put it into the system, it does something and pretty much remembers that disc, and that disc can only be played on the machine you registered it to, which I think is pretty horrible, and I don't see how they would shoot themselves in the foot like that. But I mean, it is Sony, and I don't know. So I really am probably putting my eggs in the Microsoft basket, because other than the failure rate of their system at the beginning, I don't know what the hell did he do that for? Derp. Wasn't very smart. Anyway, so, you know, they put all their eggs, or I'm putting all my eggs in Microsoft's corner, because the only real problem the Xbox 360 had at the beginning of its launch was its atrocious failure rate. You know, the red ring of death, or 3 rings of whatever you want to call it. Those look, you know, like slimes right there, so that's a little more normal. Yeah, I would have liked it if those rock dudes did a little bit more. They just kind of like animate and sit there and take it like a... Yeah. Anyway, so other than that, other than Microsoft and their, you know, failure rate on the Xbox 360, I mean, they just a solid console with solid games. And it's kind of funny how Microsoft got more of the RPGs this time around. You know, like games like Infinite Discovery or The Last Remnant. Lost Odyssey is a big one, which is made by Mistwalker, which is pretty darn cool. I mean, but then we got those 2 gems last year, mid-last year. They finally came to the United States. It's like, why wouldn't you release a game in the US? I don't get that, because there are more people who don't care about blowing their money, myself included, in this country than probably anywhere. So I don't see how a company would ever fathom that, like, oh, we could bring it to Europe, but we can't bring it to America, or we'll just delay it by a year, which is beyond me. But anyway, those are 2 gems that came out. Let's talk about one of them. Last story. I haven't seen anything about the game. I know it's like a hybrid, like you run around. I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember. It's the father of Final Fantasy that left Square and formed Mistwalker or whatever, and they've made Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey, and I have no idea what else. Anyway, so I mean, he's the original creator of Final Fantasy. And then his newest game on the Wii is The Last Story. I don't know. That's pretty easy to catch, but I just thought it was kind of funny. Yeah, Wherein... There's those spikes I was talking about. Again. He just walks into them. What a tard. Anyway. That is a horrible word, by the way. Sorry for saying it. So yeah. You know, So I really hope that, you know, that at least that company doesn't screw us over. You know, I don't think they will. I think they're smart. I think Microsoft's smart enough not to patent or implement things like that. I mean, I definitely see why a company might not want people to buy used games, because I don't see any of that. But I've always thought that that game's already been bought once, so they already made that money, I guess. But in a way, I get it. So I understand Sony, but you're just really screwing yourself over. Although I should be eating crow right now, because I know the PlayStation 3 just passed the Xbox 360 in worldwide sales. So, yeah. I guess my point is moot then, maybe. I don't know. So I'm probably gonna go with an Xbox 3 or 720, whatever the heck you want to call it. Well, yeah, then there is the Wii U and Nintendo. Nintendo baffles me too, because they release a brand new console, and then they there's a few good games. Like, I know Zombie U is supposed to be pretty badass, which I really wanted a friend of mine to buy, but he didn't. I bought him Tekken, which is pretty cool. He didn't want to buy it right now. Maybe some other time. That looked pretty cool. But how can I would think, if you have all this time and you're developing this console and you know kind of when it's gonna be out, and you wait and you finally put it out, how could you not have every Nintendo first party game ready to go at launch? I mean, I'm talking Zelda, Mario, and I'm not talking the new Super Mario Brothers, because we're at a point where we want like 3D Mario, we want Nintendo 64 Mario, or Mario Galaxy, whatever. Hell, bring back the frickin' Sunshine with the little stupid water squirter and clean up pollution, whatever. I don't care. So we need Mario, Zelda, Metroid, all these games at launch. Why can't they do that? Why is there such a drought now? I mean, I know the console's only been out for like 2 years, but still, I just don't get it. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's still gonna sell well. I think they've already sold 10 million in 2 months. I think that's what, or they shipped 10 million. I don't know. I could be totally freaking wrong there. I probably am. That, and I really wanted achievements, like some type of, like, I know PlayStation has trophies, Microsoft has achievements. I always thought like Nintendo could get like, oh hey, look at this red jewel. There's the counter. Anyway, like, Microsoft has achievements, Sony has trophies. I know the trophies came in like 2 years after the console came out, but whatever. I always thought like the Wii U could have like coins, and Mario jumps up and hits a block and a coin pops out. I always thought it'd be really cool, like, when you got some type of achievement for the game, like an old 8-bit Super Mario Brothers. Mario would like jump up and hit a coin block, and how like 5 points, 10 points, whatever would pop out. And I thought that would be really cool, but they didn't do that. I should have submitted my idea. Maybe they'd hire me or something. Yeah, I doubt it. There are some things I'm looking forward to this year. Ni no Kuni for the PS3. That's going to be really awesome. Level 5 in Studio Ghibli. Really cool. Really excited. But looks like that I'm out of time. Maybe next time we can talk a little bit more about stuff. Until then, I will see you all later. Bye-bye.